Welcome to our lecture online. Our next example, we're going to have a ring of charge and we're going to try to find the electric field strength, the magnitude of the electric field at some point along the, what we would call the axis of that ring. Notice the distance we are away from the center of the ring is small r and the radius of the ring is large R. And then if we take a small charge segment, dq, that can be found by taking the linear charge density and multiplying it times the arc length, ds. Now, ds is going to be r d theta. All right, so we'll get there in just a little bit. Might as well write it out here. So this is equal to the linear charge density times the radius of the circle times d theta. All right, so that would be a small little angle d theta right here. So this is the angle d theta, and so that's a good translation for that. All right, now notice that the distance from where the charge is to where the point of interest is, where we want to find the electric field, there we go. That distance here, let's call it d, that's equal to the square root of the radius of the circle squared plus the distance away from the center of the circle squared, like that. And then we realize here that the small little contribution of that dq causes a small amount of electric field. Let's call it dE. But we're not interested in dE. We're interested in the electric field along the axis right here, which would be dE cosine theta. And then here we have the component dE sine theta, which will cancel out as we integrate all the way around the circle. The dE sine theta will go all the way around in 360 degrees, and it will cancel itself out. So we only have a surviving component of dE cosine theta. So dE is going to be k times the charge dq divided by the distance squared, and the cosine of theta, by definition, is going to be equal to the adjacent side, which is, let's see, adjacent side, which is r. The adjacent side, which is r, over the distance d. That's right, there we go, r over d. That's the ratio, r over d, which is the cosine of theta. So now when we translate that, dq can be written as lambda times ds, which eventually is going to be lambda r times d theta. And then this r divided by d is going to be the square root of r squared plus little r squared. And of course, d squared is equal to this quantity squared as well. When we simplify that, we have dE cosine theta is k lambda ds divided by r squared plus little r squared to the 3/2 power. Now we're ready to integrate that to get the full contribution of the entire charge ring. So we're going to integrate that. Notice that instead of writing lambda ds, we're going to replace lambda by ds by r d theta. So we come over here. So we have k lambda r d theta. There we go. And we have the denominator r squared plus little r squared to the 3/2 power. But then when we realize that r is a constant and the distance is a constant, so both big R and little r are constants. So if we take all the constants out, we have k lambda little r big R in the numerator, r squared plus little r squared to the 3/2 power in the denominator, and the only variable left is d theta, and we're going to integrate that from 0 to 2 pi as we go all the way around the circle. And of course that is equal to 2 pi, so we end up with 2 pi r in the numerator, r being the radius of the circle, so that's the full circumference of the circle. There's the linear charge density. We still have the constant k and the small r in our denominator. But then we realize that the product of the linear charge density times the length is simply the charge on the entire ring. So now we have kq times little r divided by the denominator, big R squared plus little r squared to the 3/2 power. So that's the answer. That is the actual electric field strength at some distance away from the center of the circle. Now, what happens when little r is much bigger than big R? In other words, the distance away from the circle becomes very large relative to the size of the ring, the radius of the ring. When that happens, notice that the r squared will go away. In the denominator we have r cubed, in the numerator we have r to the 1st power, so this reduces to r squared in the denominator, and now we end up with a very familiar equation again, that the electric field at some distance far away from a ring of charge is simply equal to k times the charge q divided by the distance squared. So it begins to act like a point charge when you go far enough away from the ring. If you're not very far away from the ring, then you must use this equation to find the electric field, and that is how it's done.